morning. my name is my name is Nadine Young. I am the grandmother of Takaya. Today is not just about what happened. Others will speak to to the facts. I'm here to speak from the heart as a grandmother and as a woman who has carried almost 2 years of unrelenting grief. Takaya was 21 years old. She was full of life, full of laughter, full of dreams. She wanted to go back to school to become a social worker, to build a career grounded in care and compassion and community. She was proud to be a mother, and she was so excited to welcome her baby girl into this world. That future was taken from us and since then we become left with silence and pain and absence. We have two beautiful boys, now 8 and 5 years old, who ask questions no child should have to ask. They are being raised without their mother and without their sister, waiting to meet, that they were waiting to meet. We do our best every day, but the weight is heavy. The loss is everywhere. Takaya's death shattered our whole family. And while we stayed strong and we haven't yet had a chance to truly heal, that's what this is about. It's about honoring her life, protecting her kids, and making sure other families don't have to suffer like we suffering, because we doing it daily. Every day it's a step by step. We gotta just try to survive and keep her memory alive for them babies.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Well, afternoon. These particular days are never that good just because of why we're here. Rather not be here. I'd rather Takaya be here rather than talking to you guys about a lawsuit. But it's important to understand why we filed the lawsuit. It was filed yesterday. Probably got a copy. Hopefully you got a copy of the complaint here today. This case is about Takaya. It's about her unborn daughter, but it's also about more. It's about what kind of society we choose to be. Do we live in a nation where a young mother can be executed in the street over suspicion of a petty theft? Or do we live in a nation of accountability that believes in due process and the value of every human life, even those accused of mistakes and misjudgments? This lawsuit is about more than one officer's reckless and unnecessary conduct. Now, that is the standard we're trying to prove in the lawsuit, recklessness. But it's about a pattern of policing as well, a pattern of policing that too often treats communities of colors with suspicion, aggression, and deadly force where care, restraint, and humanity are required. You see, when officers resort to lethal force in situations where it's not warranted, that erodes the trust in law enforcement. Every unnecessary death, like Takaya's death, like her daughter's death, undermines the legitimacy of policing and diminishes the honor of the many other officers who serve with integrity and restraint. Now, this lawsuit is about accountability, not only for the officer who pulled the trigger, Officer Grubb, but also for the systems and policies that allowed this tragedy to occur. Seeks to affirm that Takaya's life mattered, that her unborn daughter's life mattered, and that her sons, who she's left behind, deserve more than excuses. This case is a call to action to end the culture of aggressive, unfounded force disproportionately inflicted on black mothers, fathers, and children. to demand escalation, restraint, accountability as a standard in policing. And finally, to ensure that the next family is not forced to bury a loved one for no reason other than the poor judgment and institutional indifference. This family is resolved to see justice carried out, as are we, not only in Takia's name, but for her children, for our community, and for every family that deserves safety, dignity, and fairness in their encounters with law enforcement. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Anthony Pearson from the law firm of Pearson & Pearson, and I stand with the Young family in these trying times. And a lot of my career I've been dealing with officer-involved shootings, and I can't believe that we continue to be here. These things keep happening. They keep happening. We're not going to be able to fully endorse policing in our communities. We're not going to be able to fully support police officers unless we have accountability and transparency, neither of which we have here. It's almost 2 years and the family still doesn't have a report of an investigation. They still have lots of unanswered questions about how their loved one was killed in a Kroger parking lot. How is that possible? Almost 2 years, and they still don't have much needed answers. How can a family get closure, move to a better place? How can they move past the grief that they've been stricken with without those answers? We also must have accountability. We demand accountability. These items continue to keep happening. People who don't present deadly threats to officers, don't present deadly threats to other people in their community, keep getting shot and killed by police officers while on duty. We have to do something. And that's why I'm proud to stand alongside my colleagues here, these fine gentlemen, in helping get accountability and transparency delivered to this family. This family needs justice. They deserve it. We all do. This isn't just about one individual. This is about an entire family. This is about a community. We have to hold police officers accountable at every step of the way. And that's what we are committed to do by filing this lawsuit. Thank you.
We'll now take Q&A from the media, and so you guys can feel free to ask away. Bethany?
So I filed this in state court versus federal court. A lot of these cases end up in federal court. In addition to that, why not name the township? You're saying he violated township policies. Why not name the township as the defendant?
Yep. I'll first speak to the state court filing, and I'll then allow Robert to speak to the township issue. But we want to be in Franklin County. This happened in Franklin County. Takia lived here in Franklin County. The people of this county should be deciding how this case ends. And so, we respect federal court, and the laws are specific to federal court in pursuing certain claims. But also in state court, we can speak to a Conor Grubb's recklessness. We can speak to his disregard for life and that wrongful death that occurred. And so we can achieve the means that we seek to achieve, which is a resolution for this family and accountability. And we believe that it should be in the hands of the people of Franklin County.
Yeah, I think Attorney Walton adequately explained it, but the state court's the place for this case. It fits the definition of what the conduct we're trying to prove here is. That's where this case fits. This happened in this community. With respect to the police department, we're still evaluating the claims against the police department. Fortunately, we have some time to do that. We'll evaluate that and see what needs to occur there. It's important to know that in state court, Ohio law does not allow for certain claims against political subdivisions like the township. So we have to have a very specific set of facts in order to bring a claim against the township in the state. We still have the option of pursuing lawsuits against them in federal court as well, but as of now, we've chosen to get this case filed with respect to Grubb and the other defendants in this case in state court because this is where it belongs.
Is that also because the statute of limitations file expires in 2020?
Yeah, the statute of limitations is coming up. As you know, we were conducting investigations and trying to make sure we had all the facts we could get. But unfortunately, with the criminal case occurring in November, we've been prevented from getting a lot of information that typically we will be able to get during the discovery process. So unfortunately, in these cases, you try to hold out as long as possible to get as much information as possible. But due to the ongoing criminal nature or criminal case, we've been unable to get those particular items.
You're talking about the investigation report from the CI, correct?
That's correct.
Can you speak more about Kroger's involvement leading to Kaya's death?
Yeah, I think Attorney Walton kind of referenced that early on. There's certainly standards and protocols and procedures with respect to Kroger and how they conduct things with respect to petty theft. Again, we want to make sure that we're accounting for all the claims that are available, that this family can pursue justice. We will continue to evaluate any claim against Kroger and any Kroger employee. As you know, Kroger's a private entity, so we're not entitled to certain information outside of a lawsuit. So our hope is perhaps to get some of that information. If that information exonerates the employee or Kroger, we'll certainly address that moving forward. But unfortunately, the defendants in this case haven't been that cooperative with respect to giving information to this family. And as Attorney Walton has said throughout this representation of this family, we intend to get them answers and we will get them answers.
The employee is listed as a James Bell here. I assume you guys know this person's identity. Is there a reason? Because it's a private entity that he or she is not listed here. And I assume they've spoken to police about this.
Yeah, they would have spoken to police, but again, the criminal file is under seal, so we do not have the name of that individual.
Any further questions?
Monday, I believe it's Monday, marks the 2-year anniversary. So you guys kind of talked about this a little bit, but
Sunday, yeah.
So would you just talk about a little bit more about what it's been like the last couple of years dealing with this?
Absolutely. And Ms. Nadine, spoke to the pain and the grief that this family has experienced over those last 2 years. And unfortunately, we can't hear from her 2 sons because of their age and just their perception of what's happening. But, that's a struggle. That is, they lost their mother, and she never came back one day. And so I think any parent can understand that, and any human being with any decency can understand that this is a tragedy that should not have happened, and they live it every day. And we've unfortunately seen it over the past few years. We have had 4 Central Ohio area police officers indicted for murder or convicted of murder, thanks to Attorney Pearson. And so we've seen families have to endure this for years upon years upon years. And so we have a trial set in November. We then have Jason Mead's trial, and we have, just an ongoing struggle where our communities have to have this ongoing trauma without any resolution. And so that's what we're really trying to seek here, is that accountability that prevents this from happening, but also it provides closure to these families because they have to move forward, but they can't move forward when they're living this every day over a period of years. And so I can say on behalf of the family, who I've grown to know over time and to know well, that they're great people who should not be here. But because they're here, we're standing with them, and we're standing strong with them.
Will you all be in attendance for the criminal trial?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
On that, Mr. Pearson, you were a member of the prosecutor's office staff at the time this happened, and when the case initially came before it was referred to Montgomery County
Yes.
to prosecute. How is that not a conflict of interest for you to be a counsel on this case?
Well, Montgomery County has the case. They took it criminally. So I was not involved in any privileged information or anything like that.
Any further questions? All right, we appreciate you all for coming out, and we appreciate, again, your coverage of this matter because these stories are important to tell, and we cannot let this go away quietly. So we are here for accountability. We remain here, and we look forward to bringing this family justice. Thank you all.